Hey guys, welcome back to today's video. Today is Thursday, May 21st, 2020, and today I'm going to be talking about President Barack Obama versus President Donald Trump. So this is not a realistic scenario. It can't happen because President Barack Obama cannot run for a third term. But there was a recent poll that just came out of public policy polling that showed Barack Obama with an 11-point lead over Donald Trump. And I stumbled across this political forecast website that actually has an Obama versus Trump hypothetical election. And the website is ourprogress.org. You can find it in the description or at the top of the comment section, given that I don't forget, but I probably won't. So it's just ourprogress.org/forecast-Obama. And they do have a Joe Biden one, which is a lot less lenient towards the Democratic Party. I think that's just because Barack Obama is a more popular figure, and he has won elections in the past. And when we take a look at this data, it does show that Barack Obama, if he did run for a third term, has a pretty substantial lead over the president. Obviously, this video is practically useless in the grand scheme of things, but I think it is interesting to discuss hypothetical elections, and also this has been requested a number of times to just discuss if President Obama was able to run for a third term, would he be able to win? And now I have some data analysis that I can crunch through with you guys and have a very analytical point of view about the topic. So this is public policy polling, which does have a little bit of a Dem lean, and they do typically predict elections mildly accurate. At least the results add up to the actual numbers. If you look on Real Clear Politics, you'll usually see a PPP with a little D by the name, indicating that sometimes it could be a poll done for a campaign or the Democratic Party. But generally, the numbers are supposed to be accurate because they're still supposed to report accurate numbers. And the first question on this poll showed Barack Obama ahead of Donald Trump by 11%. But it asked, who did you vote for in 2016? 46% said Hillary Clinton, 44% for Donald Trump, 10% said they either didn't vote or voted for somebody else. So there's a clear difference. Donald Trump, while losing 1% of his support, Hillary Clinton, if converted to Obama voters, would have gained 8% based off these numbers. Barack Obama improved on Hillary Clinton's margin by 8% nationwide. Donald Trump decreased from his 2016 margin by 1%. So this is actually pretty reflective of the popular vote. It was a little bit narrower, but I think it is very interesting that Barack Obama does so well amongst a base that is so divided or previously divided. 53% women, 47% men, so around the same in terms of the electorate. 41% said they were Democrat, 36% were Republican, and 23% were independent. So again, there are more Democrats, but also they try to reflect national party composition. 73% said they were white, 12% said they were African American, 9% said they were Hispanic or Latino, and 6% said other. So while this is not the 2008-2012 numbers that the Biden campaign is looking to reflect, it is very reflective of the 2016. And population-wise, 13% of the American population is African American. And actually in 2012 was the first time that Hispanic voters hit double digits in terms of turnout. And then it has age groups, and then it has landline versus text, and then it has, of course, just the numbers based off of demographic. So obviously, Barack Obama wins over 89% of Democrats and 11% of Republicans and 56% of independents. Donald Trump gets 7% of Democrats, 86% of Republicans, and 40% of independents. So let's move on. Let's talk about this hypothetical election map and what the electoral map means in favor of each political candidate. So this map would absolutely be very good for the Democratic Party, to put it very simply. I don't think that this website necessarily is skewed too far to the right based off their Joe Biden analysis. Based off their forecast between Joe Biden and Donald Trump, it looks pretty accurate. I mean, the numbers pretty much add up to what I would characterize these races as. They have Donald Trump winning in Nebraska's 2nd District. They have him winning in Maine's 2nd District. They have him winning in Ohio. They have him winning in Iowa. They have him winning in, Georgia. The only one I don't agree with is Florida and North Carolina, but I do agree with the Arizona characterization. Of course, I agree with the Sunbelt area. I agree with Texas going to Trump. So I would say that this is pretty fair. And it is very interesting that Obama drastically outperforms Joe Biden on a nationwide level. I mean, we're talking about Trump losing Texas in this scenario, Missouri becoming competitive. While I don't necessarily agree, if you are winning in the nationwide vote by around 11%, Barack Obama did have the states of Missouri and Montana, previously competitive in 2008 and mildly competitive in 2012 compared to what the margins were in 2016. So Donald Trump really did something right, and Hillary Clinton did something wrong in the 2016 presidential election. Obviously, after 25 years of being, continuously investigated by the opposition party, of course, Hillary Clinton was never going to really be the best candidate or perfect candidate that they could have run. But based off the 2016 numbers, it seems like she was probably the only realistic nominee for the Democratic Party. Bernie Sanders really was never going to win the 2016 primary. While it may seem like he got closer in 2016, he definitely was a lot closer in 2020. It just ended abruptly because of the COVID-19 pandemic and also the sudden coalition of the centrist Democratic Party that wasn't super sure about supporting Hillary Clinton in 2016. So Barack Obama, while offering an alternative solution to this Biden-Trump narrative, does much better than Joe Biden. When we look at the states that are previous Obama states, he pretty much locks them down. Wisconsin, 11%, Michigan, 14%, Pennsylvania, 13%, and this has actually recently changed in favor of Barack Obama after that recent poll came out. You can see how the winning odds drastically increased for the president. They're both the president for President Obama, and the popular vote drastically increased because, again, the only data we have is an 11-point margin, and that's the only data we can really work off of. Yes, you can compare Obama versus Trump, but then again, Obama did very well in states that Trump did not do very well in. If you take Obama's margins and you apply them to the 2016 map, Obama wins the Rust Belt and he wins the election. That's it. Sure, Trump might carry Ohio and Pennsylvania, and Iowa and Florida, depending on the election year. But Obama remains competitive in the presidential election overall. He still wins the election based off his 2012 numbers and his 2008 numbers, especially his 2008 numbers. So when I'm looking at the overall electoral map here, it doesn't seem that far-fetched. Obama at one point in time won Michigan by 17% statewide, whereas Donald Trump won it by less than 1%. I could definitely see how if Obama had a very energized campaign, could win by a very substantial margin. And, it is possible. I mean, obviously, Barack Obama no longer poses a threat to the Republican Party. And while some of you guys may not necessarily agree with his political choices, he was reelected twice. He had a very large win, and he had wins larger than Donald Trump's victory in 2016, and he won the popular vote both times. So you're already talking about a president who left office with a higher approval rating than Donald Trump has right now, who's right now polling ahead of the president, who performed better in all of the states, almost all of the states. Then you could see why it is possible for him to win, especially with the current demographic shifts in Arizona. It is likely Obama could carry Arizona. He narrowed it when his when his Republican opponent, John McCain, was from the state, and he narrowed it down within 10%. Obama showed America that he could move the entire nation to the left, especially in the House. In the Senate, they nearly had a 60 to 40 seat majority. I mean, Obama did something that we probably won't see for a very long time. We probably won't see any candidates getting over 350 electoral votes for a while. So Donald Trump's at 115. I don't think that Obama would carry Missouri in this scenario. I think these Republican voters are still going to come out and vote for him. I do think that North Carolina could be competitive. I'm not saying an 8% margin is likely, nor do I think that Barack Obama would carry Iowa and Ohio by large margins. Iowa is more like it in terms of the margin. Let's go ahead and turn off my volume so you don't hear my Slack notifications. But if you look in the Rust Belt, I mean, I honestly do agree with some of these. I could see how Minnesota could move over into, I think it will probably peak around 12%. All of these states, I think, will still be likely states. I don't think they'll necessarily be safe, but Obama would definitely win them against the president. In terms of Maine 2nd District, Obama did win it twice. Actually, most Democrats did win it except for Hillary Clinton, but in 2016, it flipped back to Donald Trump. Nebraska's 2nd District, I could see how it's competitive, but I do think Donald Trump would carry it. I think Trump would carry Texas. I don't think Texas is going to go Democrat for a pretty long time. But again, Obama does narrow down the margin in a number of states. Kansas, well, actually, I think a lot of people should start to take a look at Kansas. I don't think it'll be this close on the presidential level, but they have a very interesting Senate race. They recently just elected a Democrat to the governor's office, and they had pickups for the Democrats. They gained, I think, 16% in terms of the overall House vote in 2018. For some reason, Kansas feels the need to narrow. And I think that it will 100% go to Donald Trump by a safe margin, but I think people should start to take a look at that state because it is possible it is the next Montana, or it is possible that it is the next, or at least previous, North Dakota, where they could have, some Democratic representatives, a Democratic governor, Democratic senator, which actually might happen in this election just because of the fact that the guy who lost the 2018 governor's race is now the frontrunner for the Senate in Kansas right now, which is not going to do well for the GOP there. The Kansas GOP chair has firmly opposed Chris Kobach becoming the Republican nominee in the state of Kansas for the Senate race because they know they could very well lose that seat. And forget about Arizona. The Democrats could just win the Kansas seat and win a couple of other seats and win back the majority. So again, number of threats posing the GOP in the Senate race right now. But obviously, based off this characterization, if Obama was to run for a third term, it looks like he would end up winning it. When you look at North Carolina and Florida, I don't see why North Carolina would be more Democratic. But then again, it does have a larger African-American population respective to its overall electorate. Florida definitely would do better if Obama was able to, or Biden in the real scenario, would be able to increase amongst Latino voters. But overall, in this nationwide map, the biggest takeaway here is that based off this map and based off the data that we have right now, which is very little, but it is data, so we can make a pretty good analysis based off of it, Obama would win a third term against President Trump. This is not my personal prediction. This is just based off of the map and the data that we have right now. It's very interesting. They have actual vote totals, which I think is amazing for this. Again, the forecast I'm using is ourprogress.org/forecast-Obama. The link will be in the description and in the comment section. It's a very informative one as well. I'm going to probably cover the 2020 model as well and discuss it a lot more in depth, or a little bit more in depth actually. It'll probably be the same as this. In another video, probably not today, maybe tomorrow. But again, this website is pretty cool. I think you guys should check it out. It's not just the overall presidential election. On June 1st, they're actually dropping a state-by-state thing. So let's go ahead and see. On June 1st, we will launch our state-by-state drill downs, which I think you guys definitely could go ahead and check that out. And then they have their pretty much their methodology and how they do this whole thing. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure to comment down suggestions below. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you all later today.